have honorable men and women, distinguished men and women who worked hard in their different profession. And guess what? At their supposed retirement age, they discovered that they've got nothing. They are going to retire on because the economy is devalued. Majority of them can no longer possibly even take care of themselves with whatever pension. So they will probably have to kind of work more. And some are leaving. I'd rather just go somewhere else where at least I can have access to a better health care. I do not want to die in the old age in pain. Say not devil. Well, let's leave that. Okay. If you are a landlord in Lagos, this information is for you. And if you are also a tenant in Lagos, this message is also for you. But before we get to that, here is Sanwoolu doing Father Christmas for the Corpers in Lagos with the Lagos State taxpayers' money. He said they will increase the alawi to 100,000. And he promised them another 400 million. Then another 5 billion to complete their orientation camp. All of these are going to come from your taxes. And the taxes are getting more increased. But before I show you that, let's first go see how the supposed suffering and smiling Nigerians who are currently the graduates doing their NYSC. Then after NYSC, what is next? But they have the image and the selfies that they took with one of the dream killers of Nigeria, Sanwoolu, Governor Point and Kill, ladies and gentlemen.
How are you? How you doing?
National salute! Salute! By 2024 must be stream 1. NYSC orientation camp, Jonathan Lagos. God's present, ready for inspection. So, for 2024.
Ready for your inspection, Your Excellency.
The overall parade commander has said, Abimbola Yetunde Baderewa, the camp director for this batch, one member, Chukwuemeka Samuel.
As your daddy and your father, I cannot just come here, watch the very outstanding parade that I've seen here this morning. Please let's give them another round of applause. You truly, really deserve a permanent site. And so this year alone, I'll be putting available a total of 5 billion that I'll be using to start the full development of the permanent site for NYSC. For this batch, we have 4,254. And so with all sense of responsibility, and because you've been very hardworking, each and every one of you will go home with 100,000 naira. Will be available in your account by next week. Your directors will credit your account. Don't worry. This is how we do it in Lagos. The final note, because we are a performance-driven government, because we're sensitive to what is expected of each and every one of you in Lagos. I will be monitoring this particular batch. This particular batch is now my call. I will be monitoring this particular batch, and at the end of your exercise, I will, with your director, the best 100 core members out of this batch will get automatic employment in the Lagos State Public Service.
You could tell those ones now, say, let us go and protest. You think say they will follow you? Eh? I don't think so. Somebody said the money Sanwoolu promised them is audio. So I went on to go and look for this clip. And it is a clip that he promised sometimes in February this year. Okay. And it was about a free meal, feeding 1,000 of you in Lagos State every month for 6 months. It is almost the end of the 5th month. So I just want to ask
if any of you have been.
Sorry, I want to check if any of you have been fed. I should have put it on before now, okay? But I have to do it now that I'm talking about it before I go to the next thing, even though my time is so almost out or almost up, right? So Sanwoolu.
The third level will be that we are now going to do what we call, the soup bowl, the soup kitchen. We did it also during COVID. We want to identify mama puts, caterers that are in your do, and we want to be able to feed between 1,000 and 1,500 in every local government per day, at the first instance for the next, 30 to 60 days. So let's watch out the logistics. We are identifying, the caterers already. Funds will be sent to them, and they will have vouchers so that people just walk in, and just give them something, to eat, one a day, and let's just continue, on that. The whole idea around this is that one of the verticals will reach you in one form or the other. So that's regarding food. No, I've not finished.
That is a Sanwoolu, ladies and gentlemen. So they are bribing everybody everywhere. There is one they call a crazy, no, not crazy, angry malam. I have seen the guy a few times. I've never really seen any reason why, but social media is such an incredible place. So they call him a crazy malam. I'm not sure if I know that right, too. But he's always a guy who has anger problem. And then having the anger problem has got him a job in Tinubu's government. Tinubu has appointed over 6,000 special advisors, personal advisors here and there. They also have their own special advisor too. And here is one of them. Special advisor to Tinubu says, senior special advisor. Okay, I need to break it down. Because Nigeria is a place where person where they open door for governor as a door opener, a door opener as a door opener. So Nigeria is a place also whereby advisor to somebody who also have an advisor. So Tinubu has a senior special advisor on, I don't know. But that one has now given appointment to this guy with no talent, with no nothing, just anger problem from northern Nigeria, because it's a social media sensation with anger problem. He is now the special advisor, special advisor to Tinubu's senior special advisor. His own job is to be a special advisor on it. It's so difficult, right? Special advisor on entertainment to Tinubu's senior special advisor on something I don't know. Yeah.
La caga. Special assistant. Yanzu kai ne ba wa ƴan shugaban ƙasa shawara ne a kan harkokin da ya harkokin nishaɗantarwa. Laka.
Yau a ba ko bi ai ba ko bi ai wannan ta congratulations ɗinka kuwa ita ma ma'aikaciyar mu ne wannan wannan ma ita ma ma'aikaciyar mu
Congratulations.
yawa dukkan mu riga mun zama
Congratulations.
tana congratulations ɗinka ka san da ko
Just two
yawa
questions. Ba wani abu mai
ita ma
yawa.
tana da kokari ba tana da followers
Anyway, back to all of you, the Lagos landlords. It's a very short message, but it's very important. You may need to call the next landlord-tenant meeting after this. But if you are generous, right, maybe you just let it, let it go and tell your tenant, don't worry, I'll pay it. Because right now, apart from your tenement rates, which is pretty much like the local council rate, right? There's something now called the house tax in Lagos. So the value of your house, 60% of the value of your house, you will multiply that by 0.00076 something. So let's say if you have, okay, in fact, why am I even saying it? Listen to this guy. The message is for you.
You are a landlord and you are only living in your house with your family, so that will break it down. No tenants. Your annual fee is 60% of the value of your house multiplied by 0.076%. 0.076%. If a house is valued at 20 million, your fee is actually 0.076% of 60% of 20 million, which is 0.076% of 12 million, and that will give us 9,120 naira per annum. What does that translate into? Is 760 naira per month for a property that is valued at 20 million. You are a landlord.
Shena kiosk. Do you think in Lagos there is a 20 million naira house? Okay, maybe. So all of you, maybe say get those of you who have mansions and the rest. If they look at all the houses in Lagos and they see maybe 1 million houses. So 1 million houses And let's even just say averagely everybody is just paying. Let's even say all the houses in Lagos is 20 million naira, 20 million naira, 20 million naira. And you have 1 million houses. And this 1 million houses would have to pay 0.7% of their value. And that would mean 9,000 so and so a year, or 7,600 a month. And let's use a month. 760 naira times 1 million. And that should be 760 million. So 760 million naira every month times 12. That's going to be how much? 7.6 billion plus 15.2 billion. Sorry, 1 point. But let's round it up, okay, and say 9 billion every month. Every year. But I'm just being moderate. Abi? So if you want to use the average houses in Lagos plus the lowest one plus the highest one, you put it somewhere around 50 million. So what is the 0.76% of what is the 60% of 50 million? And then what is the 0.76% of the 0.076% of that? Then you can do the math. You can see how easy anyone can just turn to automatic billionaire in Nigeria. Assuming this money goes straight into the government cover and they use them in the public, it will be like, oh, more Lagos is the most taxed place. People of Lagos are the most taxed people in Nigeria, but you need to see the infrastructure. You need to see the business plan that they support, that they have. Yeah, and all of that. But that's not the case in Nigeria. All right. So if you are a landlord, go do the math. You know how much your house is worth. Okay. Here, where somebody observed something, and she shared it, and I said, I'm going to share it here too. Then I heard the voice of this man of God talking about those who should listen to the complaint of the people, but rather than listen, they would rather turn around and attack those people or do everything to shut them down or even jail them. I join both. So, yeah.
I see plenty church for my area. The other one where they down there in a church. This one a church. This one a church. This one a church, oh. Muna see another church here again. The other one where you see in a church, Living Faith. For one area, we have about 6 churches. Okay. Oh, Nigeria, on our way down, no.
Instead of you being provoked to repentance, you are provoked to anger against the person who tells you what you are doing is wrong. You are doomed. But worse still, a nation is doomed when its leaders are no longer afraid of the reaction of the people. The religious leaders of Israel at that time, the Pharisees and the chief priests, they wanted to arrest Jesus, but they were afraid of the people. It was only when they were able to manipulate the people that they eventually arrested Jesus and had him killed. Anytime a government is no longer afraid of its citizens, that nation is doomed. We can see what is happening in our country today. Who is afraid of who? Government? Afraid of you? Afraid of workers?
I don't think so. Thank you, Jare, my man. Yesterday, I was talking about having properties in Nigeria, and sometimes to those who don't have, for example, if you are living abroad, so you have a property in Nigeria, because it is always a dream. I dreamt of having one when I was living in Nigeria. Then as I grew older, I know better. And then I said something about, to those who have already have those properties, I spoke to them. I said, there are so many of them today that they don't regret having properties in Nigeria. But if you ask them now, if they have the same opportunity, would they have spent that much back then? in building what they built in Nigeria. A lot of them will tell you, no, I would have done it more moderately. I wouldn't have spent that much. And the reason why we're saying that was because Dangote said he doesn't live in Abuja, so he lives in a rented property in Abuja, and they said he's capping. And I said, listen, sometimes you kind of have to understand the fact that apart from the spirit of waste, the spirit of a waste that we have, where when people believe that to show that they have money is to acquire things they don't need, just for status, what the world will say. I even use myself as an example. I said, to some people, right, I am a failure because I haven't built a bigger mansion in my own hometown, which I won't build until I need it. I don't live there, and there's no point in building one. It was just a common talk. It won't stop you. It won't change your mind if you already make your mind up going, or that your money that you have put together, you want to go and build a mansion in Nigeria. My talk won't stop you. But there are people that will take my advice, and in another 10, 15, 20 years' time, it will probably make sense to them. But it doesn't, not to discourage you. Now, so one weary came and said, oh, Benny, don't discourage people. If you don't want to build us in Nigeria, don't build us in Nigeria. Don't discourage people. Typical Nigerian. Empty and loud. Ignorant and loud. Right? I'm not going to discourage you because I don't even know what your plans are. It is just so you look around and say, okay, if I do visit Nigeria, for example, like twice in a year, and I spend a lot of money sleeping in an hotel, and I don't want to sleep in anybody's house, I'll build a house. If I'm considering returning back to Nigeria, which is to say, okay, I'm returning back home, I'm returning back to my homeland, I'm working here, I should have something for my retirement, and I should have something that could actually give me a moderate house. I don't want a mansion. And that is for somebody who is working. So if my old age is to believe, he said, you can live there in abroad and grow white here, and then stay there, and then you have no house in Nigeria. I said, very stupid and loud. Typical Nigerian. How much is a house? But a lot of you are investing in something you don't need. You are making your life so hard and so tough just to kind of make some people see you as doing better. Now, people can have that comfortably, no doubt. I mean, it's not just my own thing. We're talking about now, these days, the majority of you that used to go to Nigeria 2 times, 3 times, 4 times in a year. And now you can't even remember the last time you went to Nigeria. Some of you have not been to Nigeria for the past 4, 5 years. Your mansion is there. You built it like 5, 10 years ago. Beautiful place. Now you probably just see it in the picture now. And that's why I said that. I said, a lot of us, if you look at it very well, people will tell you, go and build a house in Nigeria is an investment. They won't tell you. They are luring you into what will actually kill you easily, especially if you are not living there. But yeah, you can use a comprehension problem to misconstrue what I have to say. She been in Nigeria. It go teach all of us waiting supposed to teach us. Now all of us go experience them. Right? So one day they will tell you and say, well, the value of your house and how much you have to pay, then you'll be paying what do you call it, your mortgage abroad, and then you'll be sending tens of thousands, I mean hundreds of thousands of naira to go and pay some people because you don't want them to take your property. So don't take my word. I said it yesterday as well. I said I am not a financial advisor or a finance advisor. I am just a layman with a common sense. Or an investor will tell you, risk taking in business is always worth the adrenaline. And I'm like, okay, I'm just a layman who has been a specialist in studying Nigeria. Okay. So if there's something that is going to actually, one of the things you're going to regret is to follow the tide or to follow the push coming from those there, asking you to bring your sweat that will never probably be useful to you when you are old enough that you want to actually use them. I don't wish you bad, though. I'm just offering an opinion. So there are those who have projects going on in Nigeria right now. A lot of money is being expended on that. As your inflation is skyrocketing, some of them are kind of taking different loans, taking extra jobs so that they can pay up some loans and all that to go and spend in a place that they will probably will not visit in another God knows how many years. As it gets worse, a lot of you are going to find means of living. A lot of us are going to extend our return. Just remember that. I mean,